Probably. Welcome back to the Theatre of Dreams. A beautiful evening here at Darcy Street for the second of Hume City's friendlies against NPL Tasmania sides. Today it's Hobart Zebras who get their crack at the visitors after they did the job over South Hobart 3-1 yesterday in what was a pretty entertaining affair and maybe a slightly harsh reflection on South Hobart. The final score there, I thought they did pretty well. Zebras will be looking to put in a similar effort. Joining me today to talk our way through this one, he's back again for 2018. Jake Morgan, Happy New Year to you, sir.
Oh, and it's a pleasure to be here again, Andrew. And yeah, I certainly am disappointed that I missed that wonderful affair yesterday. I did have a bit of a look through the stream at the end there, and certainly some cracking goals in that encounter and some cracking commentary from you blokes.
It was a very enjoyable game, that's for sure. Alex Walter really impressing for South Hobart, and we'll look to see if Zebras can have some of their stars stand out. The big interest, I think, from a Zebras point, Gabriel Marcage in charge of the team. We'll see how he sets them out today. He's got the job. It was a controversial appointment at the time, but anyone who's spoken with him knows just how in-depth he is with his knowledge of football. So we're hoping a redemption story is in the works for Marcage this year, and good on Zebras for taking the punt on him. But this is our first look at him, and obviously we're still about 50 days out from the start of the season. So.
And he's certainly done a fantastic job in the off-season, or at least the recruiting staff at the Hobart Zebras have, because they've picked up two players that were in last year's team of the season, with Sheckman Kamara coming into the goals for them, which is just going to be quite a big improvement up that end of the pitch. And then if you add into that, last year's top scorer with, I think, around 30 goals, he got in about 20 games. Jacob Sklenage picked up from the Olympia Warriors, and that is really going to inject into the most important areas that the Zebras needed to improve here today.
Yeah, they did need a little bit of support for Sanders up top, and now they've got the real dual goal threat. How does he fit the two strikers into? Interesting to see. So maybe a 4-4-2 diamond could be in the works. 3-5-2 was speculated about before, but certainly he's got two real key weapons up there. And you'd think with two players like that, they're going to play a pretty expansive game, and they wouldn't be afraid of getting into shootouts with teams.
No, certainly not. And yeah, they really do have firepower up top now, the Zebras, because I think Sanders was probably second to Sklenage last year in the NPL Tas top scorers. And if you add in the threat of big Lukey Hoogsloot with about as tall as 2 metre Peter Crouch, the big unit, and he is just a threat from corners, set pieces and crosses absolutely everywhere. So he'll slot in behind them today. Looking forward to seeing how the three of them will combine up top.
And that's at the other end of the pitch, perhaps a few more question marks, and three new names in defence. Sheku Kamara, of course, a great pick-up in net. In front of him, Benjamin Robinson. He defects from the Kingborough Lions. Marcage was the one who got him into that starting lineup. Impressed, but was really under pressure in that Lions side last year. Mattia Statella, a new Italian import. He'll play at centre-back. You'll see him. He stands out. He's a big, tall fella. He'll be an imposing figure playing in defence alongside of Robinson. And Deans Bloomfield looks like he's going to line up at left back today. No Luke Warrener in the squad, who was so impressive last season. And you'd imagine Dwayne Walsh slotting in at right back. That's fairly customary for him, but a very new look defence here for Zebras.
Yeah, certainly is. And yeah, it's good to see that Gabriel Marcage shows a bit of faith in players, and almost you could say that he has Marcage players now in Ben Robinson and Sheckman Kamara, happy to follow him to a new club. So he certainly appears to inspire a bit of loyalty with his troops there, Gabby Marcage. And yeah, I'll certainly be interested in getting a look at Robinson and Bloomfield and Statella in particular today, because I've not seen them play, and it's really going to decide a lot, because Zebra's defence was so solid last year. It's almost been completely replaced, so certainly looking forward to seeing how they will shape up as well.
Yeah, it was a real strength, and perhaps a slightly more defence-orientated side than you. Marcage likes to play the beautiful game. There's another new name in there, Lachlan Burt, number 8. I think he was at South Hobart last season. An impressive youngster. He's a sister, a good player in the women's side of things, and he's a youngster who's going to look to try and cement a midfield spot alongside Jordan Muller there, and really skillful kid, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Almost like the Manchester United Academy down here at South Hobart, isn't it? They just keep producing young players.
Yeah, we saw plenty of them on display last year. Matthew Pace also gets a start. We saw plenty of him last season. As the season wore on, he got a few opportunities. On the bench, we've got James Ackley, Jordan Mundy, a new signing, Luke Biggin, Jake Pullen, and Adam Sunday McEwen, a very familiar name there. So a couple of new, couple of old there on the bench. And moving on to the visitors from Hume City. We haven't got their subs bench because it's everyone who's not in the starting lineup. We'll go through the team, and it's
a big fan of question mark Taylor too, the number 18.
Yes.
He's a real mystery man, you'd have to say.
Well, he's definitely got me perplexed, but look, Blair Govan, we saw him yesterday, the centre back. Benjamin Leviticus, he was in the starting lineup, and Oliver Kubale was also. Apart from that, looks like everyone who was on the bench and brought on as a sub will get a start today. So really rotating his squad, which is what you'd expect from 2 pre-season games interstate. So the player coach, Nick Hegarty, he's not inserted himself in the lineup today, but he'll sit on the pine and see what perhaps a few of the reserves can do. And the players who did come off the bench did look very sharp and gave them a bit more attacking impetus yesterday, although perhaps the wind at their backs and South Hobart tiring had a bit to do with that as well.
Yeah, they certainly have a decent reputation, Hume City. I think the biggest thing that I'm going to have to worry about is my terrible pronunciation today.
It was a real battle yesterday. We do apologise in advance. We're probably going to be butchering these. Andrew Poriak, the Paul, we labelled him, and that'll stick. Bradley Blumenthal came off the bench and scored.
Heston. We'll see what he can cook up top.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Umut Bosdugan, and that's as far as we get with that. So we're just about to get underway at Darcy Street, and I think both coaches will be looking for more performance than result today, as was the case yesterday. And I think plenty of starting spots for both sides up for grabs. Plenty of players looking to stake a claim. And looks like once again we've got Brenton Copra on the middle of this one.
Tasmania's finest.
He was on the line yesterday. In the middle today, Alistair Cook and Josh McInerney either side of him. The customary team photos being taken here.
Did I also hear that the mullet has been shaved?
Oh, well, that it has.
Or is that just a horrible rumour?
Well, I think it's gone.
Oh,
I think that is fact. As Nick Grunwald's just crashing the Zebras team picture here. Some tight pods formed there, and I'm really disappointed he's not the starting lineup for Hume today, because the battle between him and Sanders up top, who's lived together for a little while, I think, would have been absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant banter there from old Grunwald, and as you know, he is one of those reasons why that is really going to be a new look defence for the Hobart Zebras, having moved on to Hume City after a brilliant season in Tasmania last year, which was capped off by winning the Mitzi medal. Quite a performance for a first-year player there, Grunwald, so absolutely love that banter getting in on the Hobart Zebras there too.
Yeah, no doubt if he does get on, there'll be more than a few words between him and the Colonel exchange. Looking forward to that. So it should be a good game. It's a lovely evening for football here. The sun is shining. There's no wind factor we had yesterday, which kind of saw the play dominated at one end, and should be a good game as the handshakes.
Got a good feeling about this one, because if, as you're suggesting, this is a bit of a more substitute lineup or players that are attempting to break into the first team here for Hume, we're seeing a full-strength lineup from the Zebras, so really could be in for a good affair.
Yeah, just a couple of players missing for Zebs, but not too far off full strength. And we look forward to seeing what Markage's men can do, and the man himself just rocking the suit in pre-season, which is what we like to see. Impeccably dressed as ever, he's Gabriel Markage.
He's a handsome man.
Just sitting on the pine, and we'll wait and see how his team line up today, but I'd imagine it's going to be maybe a 4-4-2 with Sanders and Scronage up top. Our first look, and they did play against South Hobart last week. It was a fairly understrength side, lost 6-0, so they'll be looking to improve on that, but certainly some big names injected into the lineup since that occasion. It'll be the first time we see Sanders and Sclenage together.
I'll be really interested to have a look at the performance of Geordie Muller at the base of midfield here today too, because he's certainly a player that's going to need to fire if the Zebras are going to go for glory in the NPL Tas this year. So really a player that I'm looking forward to looking at to see how he's going to shield that new defence.
He's a very clever player, Geordie Muller. Doesn't do anything too complicated. He just keeps things ticking over. Good range of passing. And he'll run all day. Looks like he and Lukey Hughes-Luke lining up in the middle of the park today. And the back four is as we expected. So all is in readiness. Brenton Copra just about to get us underway. And Hume City are going to roll with this same start they did yesterday with everyone near on halfway. They certainly push up a long way from these kickoffs. It's remarkable. You just about see every Hume City player in that picture there. And the furthest,
barking out a few
back
commands
is on the
there.
circle. And they've kicked off back to the keeper. We saw a lot of that yesterday, Hume. They weren't afraid to pass back to the goalie and just recycle possession. And immediately treading on the ball and recovering it as the Dwayne pipe looks to surge forward here for Zebras. He takes off on a run. He had no support, so they throw in a good result there.
Yeah, and surge he did, but that was certainly a really solid performance from the left back there for Hume City, who just got right in the way beautifully.
Big heave there. There's a thumping throw.
Rory Delap-like there from Big Robinson.
Yeah, that's what he can bring. He certainly looked to heave it in there to the likes of Big Hugh Sloot and Sanders. We saw the long throw. It was so effective for Zebras last year, and they've got a pretty good exponent of it. And he of the flashy boots there, Ben Robinson.
I'm getting Rugani vibes from him, especially in that black and white kit there.
A little bit. Gabriel Marcage would be delighted if he had Rugani in his squad. They look to play this one out through Baracevic. Retreats back to his captain. Govan was pretty solid yesterday. No-nonsense customer there. Very comfortable on the ball. And Hume showed they were very committed to passing out from the back. Slightly heavy touch that almost lets Hugh slid in and cover up blows there. A free kick for Hume. Got an option to switch it if they want to take it here on the grandstand side. The winger acres of space. They'll head that direction now. Picks out Baracevic. Again, just treading on the ball for a second time. Was
certainly a bit of a shirt tug there from Geordie Muller. Perhaps a little bit unnecessary, but not giving away the free kick in any particularly dangerous position. But Hume get it moving quickly again out to the wing. Jinks inside the right back. Has another look again before the defender does it quite poorly. And the ball's free in the middle of the box, but cleared away there by Pace. Certainly worrying moments there for the Zebras. They just looking a little bit pedestrian there.
Yeah, Leviticus skipping around one, and he was lively when he got on the ball yesterday. It was really denied service in the first half, but showed what he can do as the contest wore on. And Hume forced to retreat here. Some good pressure by Zebras, and they forced the turnover. And in the end, it's going to be a free kick. No throw in. So the tumble not rewarded, and Hume will just knock it round the back, which we'll see plenty of today.
Did look like perhaps a little bit of a body check there, but perhaps I'll just say there's a little bit of bias creeping into my commentary, but certainly is one of Tasmania's finest, Brendan Copper, and he had a much better view, so we'll trust him. Hume City get things going again. Certainly looking to favour this right-hand side at this stage of the game, but really like the way that their left back is keeping high up the pitch and tight to the touchline, which gives them the opportunity to spread play as well. If they hang on to the ball, they'll really tire out this Zebras midfield by doing that.
Yeah, I think we saw a bit of that yesterday against South. They didn't trouble them too much earlier, but just that chasing shadows and force back on defence can wear you down, especially with Hume at a more advanced stage of their pre-season than Zebras. And that's a fairly blatant push in the back there from Kubalay.
Really beautiful chest control from that poor crossfield ball from the Hume player before, well, trapped there by Bloomfield. Good to get a look at him today, because certainly going to have the pressure on him this year as they try to challenge South Hobart and Olympia probably for the title.
I think you might have even left out the team I reckon's the biggest threat for the title behind South this year in the Strikers. They're trying to keep quiet up there, Morgs, but they've got something brewing up there. They'll try to keep wraps on it as Walsh brings it down to a dangerous area and attacked out of there. Very early stage of pre-season, so pretty hard to make judgments. But Zebras always expecting to contend for the title, and this year will be no different. Everyone chasing South Hobart after 2017. Robinson with a little flick, he gets it into the 6-yard box. There was Muller, works it to pace.
Just uses his wrist so well in that throw-in, doesn't he? Really gets that last bit of spring at the end. Very Delap-like.
If he winds up, he could put it in the net. He just tried to place that one. Plenty of distance. Huxley again the target. He gets his noggin on it. The flag's up here from Alistair Cook. No.
Oh!
As Huxley puts one on the roof.
So that's the kind of threat that big Hoogsloo can offer you, because there's certainly not going to be a player on the pitch who will get to that header before him.
Yeah, it's a real asset that they've got, an aerial strength. I think we know that Marcage showed last year he likes his teams to keep it along the deck and play attractive football, but when you've got a weapon like that from throw-ins, you might as well use it, and he perhaps has learnt, and we might see a shred more pragmatism this season. This one's lofted along, Delane Walsh, the commanding header. Colonel Sanders works it to Hugesley, chips it over the top. And the captain, Govan, shielding the ball there, back to his keeper.
Yeah, perhaps Govan should have just dealt with that himself, or maybe the keeper could have come out a touch earlier there rather than sitting back into his box, but no worries here for Hume City as they hold on to the ball and look to get it forward. Ball's played across again to Govan. Looks back out to this right-hand side. They do certainly seem to be favouring this side at this stage, Andrew.
Yeah.
Not sure if that was a
wind might have a little
yesterday.
to do with it.
Yeah,
but,
true.
Yeah, just to blow that direction a little bit. They'll now spread it out near side to the fullback, Marachevich, who immediately retreats. That's something we did see plenty of yesterday. A real Chavy type philosophy of once you got the ball, let's not give it up.
I thought for a second you meant different kind of Chavy, but
no, different type.
into the box. Oh, and he's gone to ground, and that has got to be simulation or a penalty.
Or he might have just slipped over. I don't think he appealed for a penalty, to be fair here to the flying winger, Leviticus. He's torn past him. I mean, it wasn't a penalty, I didn't think, but all he gets there, just a bit of a dive, really.
Yep, I'm going to stick with my first assessment of that, I think, because pretty lucky that he hasn't appealed for the penalty there, because it's a pretty blatant dive. As the ball, beautiful curve into the box, and not quite cleared by Hoogsloo. It's back from distance. What a goal from the edge of the box there from the number 11, Umut Bozdogan. That is a cracker from the set piece, and that is exactly what you want players to do. Sit on the edge of the box from the set piece and drive it in. Lovely
finish there from Bozdogan. He's put his foot through this one, left Sheku Kamara up with no chance at all. It was well crafted. The clearance came to him. He was waiting for the opportunity, not dealt with there convincingly, and they are made to pay. First time rasping drive, 1-0. Beautiful hit that. Hume City take the lead with the first real clear-cut chance of the game.
Yeah, absolutely lovely finish there from Bozdogan. You have to say that Kamara might be a bit disappointed with his defence there. It certainly was a poor clearance to put the ball into that location. Didn't quite catch who it was.
Yeah, I think it was the...
might have been Statella.
Yeah, the Italian centre-back. The boots have betrayed him there.
Yeah.
The yellow boots, so he'll be wanting to shake that one off the centre-back. Just need to get a bit more on it. Clear that first man. He was waiting there for just that reason, and again, promising down the right. He just hadn't continued his run. Leviticus played the return ball.
Yeah, certainly a couple of rude pairs of boots in the new centre-backs here for the Hobart Zebras. They could direct traffic with those boots.
Just need the green ones in there somewhere as well.
Far away.
Robinson saunters forward and chips that one. Sanders really want to give chase to it. Blumenthal with an error pass. Glenna's first real involvement. Pace tried to take a man on. Good tackle there to win it back. Now the goal scorer will take it away.
And that was pretty sweet there from Gideon Sweet. Got in nicely with a good challenge there.
Another one of those players who got the start yesterday. Jerry to this side came on the bench.
Certainly looking quite composed at the back there is Blair Govan too. He and Barasevich out here on this side have been holding onto the ball quite well for Hume, and it really seems to be a feature of their game that they're quite happy to try and tire other teams out, chasing the ball constantly. And they're doing it nicely here.
They force turnover. Jordan Muller gets on the ball, works it forward. And picked up in midfield there by the paw. And again, they'll look to make some waves down the right, but he cuts back inside now. He's got the striker. He takes a touch. It was slightly heavy there from Blumenthal. Came off the bench and scored yesterday.
Yeah, he certainly overcooked that one, Heston Blumenthal. He certainly wouldn't be serving that up in his restaurant.
And bounces over the top. Sklenar scrapping away, and he wins it. To shield the ball now and wait for some support. unfortunately comes in the form of pace. It's a dangerous little ball for Hume City. Well played. Now can he produce a cross of quality? He goes near post. It was anything but a cross of quality, unfortunately, as the Dwayne pipe gets on it and punches it in the Sklenage direction. Plenty of numbers back for Hume.
A little bit disappointed that Hoogsloot wasn't working harder to get back on side there, because he could have given the Dwayne pipe an outlet there on the right-hand side, but perhaps could just be looking to sneak in behind Barasevich here.
Walsh will retreat back to Kamara. Did him no favours with an under-hit back pass. This is a slightly errant clearance, and now Leviticus skips around Bloomfield. He's into the box. He recovered well, the defender, but can't get the ball off him. He's leading him a merry dance at the moment, the number 7. He's really making all the play down this right, and an early cross is played in. Walsh gets enough on it to take it away from Blumenthal, who gets back on it, has some support, and instead went the first time cross straight into Walsh.
Yeah, certainly just gave that one a whack there, Blumenthal, but well blocked by Walsh to prevent the ball going into box and potentially causing some trouble. Just a little bit of a barge there from Dwayne Walsh that was perhaps a little bit unnecessary when the ball could have been trickling out for a goal kick. But giving away a set piece in a dangerous spot now as the Zebras.
Yeah, well, they were very good defending set pieces last year with the likes of Grunwald and Lewis and Hughes back there. Slightly different personnel this year. We'll see how they go. An early test for them here, as they did for every set piece yesterday. 2 men standing over the ball. Kubalay and Bosdugan, who takes it, and it's a teaser to the back post. And in the end, the long levers of Hughes scrambles it over the top for a corner.
Yeah, beautiful ball in there, but just a little bit surprised that I didn't particularly see any Hume City player in the centre of the goal there attacking that. It was a really lovely ball into the box and reasonably well dealt with by the Zebras.
No one there. Everyone's kind of waiting, expecting something else perhaps.
Perhaps just waiting on the edge of the box to drive the ball in.
It worked last time. Another corner here. It's all Hume City in the opening 12 minutes, firmly on top, as this one has worked out. And another chance for a shot from distance.
The big paw.
This one is well over the top from the paw.
Yeah,
always
paw
rising.
from the paw.
Always rising. Powerful effort, that.
Oh. Yeah, no, you're just going to get a groan for that one, mate.
That was my response to yours. The pun game steps up. Sheku Kamara changes his mind about launching it long and just chips it.
Yeah, just shifted the focus there a little bit, the camera.
Robinson will smash it forward towards Sklenage, who tried to get up, but it was a tough one for him to deal with, and that's the type of service he's had so far.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly that. Jacob Sklenage looked a bit of an isolated figure up top, which I wasn't quite expecting, given that the Zebras did indeed go with the 4-4-2 diamond. So just trying to work him and Sanders into the game at the moment is not going too well for the Zebs.
They haven't really been able to get a foot on the ball and keep possession. It's been Hume City firmly in control. They continue to make the Zebras chase them at this stage, looking very comfortable. They check inside here. This is a promising build-up. Well shut down though by pace. And Robinson goes back to his keeper. He wants to take it on the right, which might have been the best option in the end. Recovered. Pace getting a foot in. He's done a good job making a nuisance of himself in that midfield early on.
Pace by name, pace by nature. As we see the Zebras potentially getting a break here. Colonel Sanders just looks to hold up the ball. Then looks up the left-hand side where the run is offered from Sklenage. He gets his head up. Running it, Govan. Looks again inside. Shot from distance attempted really there from Sanders, but no connection due to some brilliant defending from Hume. And they're out here on the left side through Barasevich. He gets his head up, plays to Blumenthal, who once again just goes what they've been going for all day, just hang on to the ball, Hume City.
Yep, they'll reload and patiently make their way back down the other end of the pitch.
Certainly, probably a really good experience for Markage as a young manager here to play against a team who's really looking to hold on to the ball and happy to let an opposition press and open up space behind. It's really not quite a style that you see from too many teams played down in Tassie, and it's quite beautiful to watch.
Yeah, not too many. South Hobart probably the closest you'd have down here for a team that just wants to dominate the possession and control things. Certainly the best team at doing it down here, but you're right, these mainland teams do offer a good test. It's fantastic getting them down here for pre-season.
Love how ludicrous the word mainland is to mainlanders too.
There's a chance here for the lively winger who slides it on through, and this is promising. Robinson under pressure here. The centre-back does well. Forces a retreat, but Hume still in control of the ball. Back they go to the paw, and he'll go all the way back to his captain.
Oh.
He chips it in the middle. There's plenty of
just looking
space.
a little bit shaky there for a second, Hume City. Just went back a little bit too far. Barasevich with a wonderful
that's a
cross.
penalty.
And
that's a penalty. Had to
it
be.
has been a penalty given away there by Statella. Just a little bit of a push with the shoulder there. But, geez, I do think that the Hume City players made the most of it. But
He definitely has, but he's put a full arm and pushed him in the back. You just can't be doing that. Just invites the opportunity for the player to go down. And lack of discipline there from the centre-back.
it is a little bit of a soft one, but it is a penalty, isn't it? I think you're certainly right there. And we're going to see Blumenthal just settling over this one. Let's see what he can do.
He steps up and rolls at the bottom corner.
Fires it into the bottom corner very calmly there. No chance camera on that one. So Hume City taking a 2-0 lead here after 16 minutes.
Okay, he's not terribly pleased. I think the thing that first earned his eye was when Paul received the ball again in the midfield in acres of space and no one was near him. That's a beautiful penalty.
Could have been retaken there.
Someone
Perhaps
encroaching,
yeah, a little bit.
Possibly.
Maybe a little bit from pace. And the Oliver Kubelet, perhaps.
2-0 and Hume have now put the dominance on the score sheet, and for Newport Statella, not the greatest of starts for him. He's missed hit clearance led to the first and conceded a penalty. So things can only go up for the new Zebras signing.
Powiak in midfield is certainly having a very, very good game too. He's completely negated the influence of Luke Hoogsleet, the big number 13, despite being about a foot taller than him, showing real bite and temerity in the challenge.
It's been lively.
Geez, I haven't pulled that one out since third year uni, temerity. Forgot I knew the word.
Yeah, it's a good one. Pull it out more often.
What does it mean?
Temerity.
Joking.
Because you're not going around using words you don't know the meaning of, are you, boys?
Always do.
Hughes
Football.
Does any of us really know the meaning of that? As Sanders works it to pace. Surrounded. That was a clever little chip, but there was a third number there for Hume City. Hughes gets this one down, and pace continuing to be busy. In the end, he's forced to go all the way back to his centre-back, Statella. Across to Robinson.
Just see Sklenage now starting to work to a little bit of space, coming a bit deeper to try and collect the ball and get involved in the game, but didn't have a lot on offer from his teammates, and calmly taken there by Mitchell Trajewski, the top of the line for Hume. Once again, just kind of settling on the ball in their own half here. Hume City happy to let the Zebras try and press, and when that opens up space in behind, they've been lethal today. Barasevich, wonderful little jink there on Matt Pace, who then promptly fouls him in the back, but Hume take no umbrage with it and switch it out to the right-hand side.
Just can't get a foothold in this game at the moment, Zebras. Just
can't hang on to the ball, can they?
Just losing it. Hume winning possession back easily, and then once they've got it, they are not yielding it.
No.
It's making life very tough for this Zebras team. And they're not getting the ball. Their best players are up top in Sklenage and Sanders, and they're not able to get the ball to them, which is a source of frustration for those two up top at the moment. As this one's chipped over the top, Leviticus flying in behind, but Kamara can easily deal with it. They're just 20 minutes into this one, and the signs not great for the Zebras. All one-way traffic at the moment. Sheku Kamara, Jordan Muller dropping really deep as he tries to get his foot on it and get something going. He can be that playmaker for this side.
Real proper 4-3-3 they're running with, isn't it, Hume?
Everyone tracking back when they do lose possession. Immediately looking to win it back, and they're pressuring Hume here. He's surrounded, so he just goes down.
Yeah, good work shielding the ball there from Luke Hoogsloot. Could have potentially just slowed it down a little there. Giving themselves a moment to take a breather. Got a bit of space out here on the right side, and that's where Geordie Muller heads. Ball goes to Robinson, who quickly plays it to Luke Hoogsloot, but couldn't quite wrap his foot around that one the way that he wanted to try and get the Dwayne pipe free up the right-hand side. Barasevic over the ball here for the throw, and he looks inside to Paliak. Gets his head up and receives the 1-2. Switches again out this right-hand side, and there's a bit of pace, a bit of space rather out there. Jinked inside from the Hume City player. He's got his head up, switches again out to, I think, Barasevic. He gets his head up and looks inside. Bit of space in behind the centre-back there as Robinson rashly goes out, but wins it quite well in the end. So well done from the former Kingborough defender.
Really enjoying the work of Hume City's fullback Hayden Tennant, just bombing on, but not just going down the wing. He's cutting inside and drawing Zebras players out of position. He's made several of those surging runs in the opening 20 minutes. He's looked very impressive, the Hume City right back. Everything down that right-hand side has looked pretty sharp so far.
Everything down this left-hand side's looked quite smooth as well. Barasevic having a really good game, but just denied a throw there for a second, and the Zebras can get Robinson over the top, and he heaves it in the direction of Sanders, but well cut out by Paliak, who's been the best player on the pitch so far for me. Denying the Zebras any space in their attacking half and just absolutely snapping into tackles in midfield. And there he is again with another interception.
Just keeps winning the ball back, doesn't he? And then he usually spends it wisely. He's going to be made to work here, though. That was poor. Hughes-Luke works it to Sanders and threads it through, but again, good defence. Hume in command at the back, in control of things. They build once again back to Govan under pressure. Retreats to his goalkeeper there, Tapia. Number 2, getting the gig today. Nick Haggerty looking to give both his keepers a game in this pre-season. He smashes this one wide down the right. It's flicked on again to Leviticus, who chips it nicely, and this is looking good. He crosses one more well, blocked by Robinson. Got his foot on it, and he had to. That was building very dangerously.
Yeah, Trajewski and Robinson there just coming together. Really had Blumenthal in a really good position there too, Trajewski, but couldn't quite find him. Good defending from Robinson as the Zebras look to quickly get on the break here. Perhaps one of the few times I've seen Hume look a little bit disorganised, but well intercepted by the centre-back there for Hume, and just knocks it out of play rather than risking Colonel Sanders getting his chickeny foot all over it.
So the Colonel, what's he got here? Whip out some quality from the long throw in. Hughes-Luke the likely target. Of course, he goes in that direction. A bit too much pepper on it on this occasion. Here's Muller.
The best result Geordie Muller could have got there with 2 players perhaps bearing down on him.
Yeah, not the worst result in the throw in. Now their defence to get back. Proceedings just slowing down a little bit here as the paw gets back on the ball and sends it to Govan. The pace just slowing down the last couple of minutes. Ferocious opening, particularly from Hume. When they've attacked, they've pulled the trigger, they've done so at speed. That should be a foul on Bloomfield. They throw in regardless. So we're going to have a look at the replay of the penalty decision, which has led to it being 2-0. Statella just in his back there. Just a lack of discipline,
really like that ball from Barasevic too.
It's easing, wasn't it?
It is. He's got the option of the centre forward cutting it off with a header, or Leviticus overlapping on the right on the other side to try and get on the end of a tap in. Those kind of balls are just beautiful. The early cross at its finest there.
It was the right option. And it caused the panic in the defence that was intended to do. Statella is on the ball here. Now Jordan Muller. Sanders drifting deeper and deeper to try and get his foot on the ball. Frustrating opening 25, perhaps, for Zebras. Still in the very, very early stages of their pre-season, though.
Oh, certainly.
Entirely new style of play being introduced, so this is perhaps not too surprising.
Very new style. Certainly a few new customers out there on the pitch that need to learn to gel together defensively, but
I don't think you'd be too concerned. At this stage hasn't been the best 25 minutes from them, but far too early to be panicking. I'm sure that won't stop the usual suspects on Walter's blog, but I wouldn't be panicking too much if I was Zebras after 25 minutes against a very sharp Hume City outfit and by their captain Govan, who's not put a foot wrong. There's Tapia. Spreads it wide.
Well kept in there by Barasevic, really.
Might have worked for a moment for Zebras. Again, Govan has his positioning spot on, though, to deny Sanders. Well read by Deans Bloomfield there, but he's going to be caught out. And a chance for Leviticus to run here at Statella. He fancies him, he charges at him, and the Italian does well to recover and block it behind for a corner.
Marcage will be a bit happier with that defending from Statella, because certainly aware to the threat that was posed there by, was it Leviticus?
Yes.
I think it was. Yeah, perhaps a little bit shellfish there from Leviticus. Should have looked to a teammate perhaps, but that kind of thing's usually forbidden.
Yeah, just trying to have a look there. No tattoos anywhere that want him, is there?
No, no, no.
I certainly hope not. Because this one's curled in near stick as a dangerous ball. Sklenner got his head to it, and then away by big Statella.
Oh, and he looks to pressure.
Charged out and followed up his work there. And again, Hume City doing as they will. The paw has been at the forefront of a great deal of it. Sanders back to Bloomfield. Huge salute. Miscontrolled. Sliding in there. Again, the paw dictating things from the middle. Govan. Chip forward for Blumenthal. Wayne Walsh tied to him. The offside flag raised. Geordie Muller has been dropping deeper and deeper as this half has worn on. Carrying it out. Euclid offering short, but he was surrounded by Hume shirts. Now Statella over the top looking for Sklenage. Sklenage weaving one way then the other. Controls it nicely to Sanders. Sanders goes looking there for Burt and put behind for a corner. A very good side from corners last year, Hobart Zebras. Scored a lot of goals, particularly in the early parts of the season under Peter Saville from set pieces. It's interestingly going to be Jakob Sklenage to take this one. I thought he might be someone you'd want in the box on the end of it. I suppose that could also be said of the Colonel who normally takes them, so it's Sklenage to swing this one in. And he does to the near post, where there are two Hume defenders, and the flag is up anyway. So a bit of a wasted opportunity there for the Zeps. We tick towards half an hour here at Darcy Street.
I wasn't quite sure what was picked out there by the referee.
Shirt grab, I think, but fairly innocuous. Here is the Colonel Sanders, dueling the captain Govan. Muller looks it for pace. Euclid eventually brings it under control. Then out his pocket picked. Very tidy stuff, and they're off to the races again here. Where'd they go? Now Lepore, who's got a winger making a bursting run. Instead he goes to his fullback there, and Barasevic. Blumenthal offering short, instead back to the paw. Poriak doing really well today running the show in the middle. He's full-back and then immediately wants the return ball. No one getting close enough to him from Zebras. He's being allowed to do as he wills. He might have crafted something down the right here. Leviticus shut down by Bloomfield and another throw-in, but someone needs to go stand near the number 6, Jake Morgan.
And I think that could be big Lukey Hoogsley, who's just on his haunches a little bit here. Certainly had to work hard with the influence of Pawiak out there. Apologies if it's Pawiak, by the way.
We're just going to keep going with the paw, I reckon.
Yeah, fair.
Gabriel Marcage having a word with Sanders on the near touchline as that one rolls out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of a chest control that probably hit the hip bone there, so unfortunate touch for the player from Hume City, who I think was Leviticus, but Camera will look to work this out from the back here for Zebras. Certainly using the diamond formation the right way to play it out from the back there. The Zebras with the centre-backs parting has been fashionable for the past few years.
Fortunately, it's that ball there where they keep breaking down.
Yeah.
It's happened again from under pressure here. Scrapping away, it was Trajewski, and he's infringed. Just need someone in that midfield for the Zebras to do what Poyak's done for Hume and get on top of things and craft a few chances. Link up between the attacking line and the defence at the moment. What there is Sklenar again given scraps to feed on. This will be easily dealt with at the back. And the impressive Hayden Tennant holds it back, and again Poyak on the ball. Pressured this time by Sklenar's tracking back for the Zebras. Just making them chase them, wearing them out. You'd think he would be the fitter team, so this could be telling later in the match too. This opening half hour. Possession being dominated by the Victorians. And Copra says play on. I thought that was a foul, but continues to let proceedings roll on. Poyak for Leviticus.
I reckon Poyak has about 30 interceptions at this stage of the game.
They'll just keep passing to him. Why not? He's spending it wisely.
Beautiful touch from the Adam's apple of Barasevich there too. Just really quite strong from the esophagus.
This Hume team just reminds me of Denmark with Christian Eriksen. Just getting the ball every chance you get. Always seem to be the way they've played today. It's working for them. Here's Robinson. Marcage demanding something from his troopers on the sidelines. He's terribly pleased with what he's seeing at the moment as Statella thumps this one in the Sanders direction, who gets up, nods it down nicely. This is promising, Sklenarge, but again, it was very nicely defended by Karl Barasevich. Getting a foot in.
That's beautiful work from the left back. I just love watching positional awareness of fullbacks in football, and that is as beautiful an example as you'll see it. He's really had to slot into a, almost centre-back, centre-mid kind of position as the players were sucked wide to the other side of the pitch and just not allowing that extra bit of space that the Zebras could have used to get in a shot at goal. So really good work from Barasevich.
Muller goes the rugby tackle there. Brings his man down. Not sure what he's protesting. The regulation decision, that one for Brenton Copper. Hegarty facing the sideline for Hume. He'd be pretty content with the way things are going thus far. And he really brought the game to life with his assist on the second goal yesterday against South Hobart. Delightful bit of skill. Sklenarge gets up and he's able to run a Coben here. A bit of space for Sklenarge. He checks back inside. It was ill-advised. There was coverage there for Hume. Broke down, but they might get another bite out here. Sklenarge wanted it, and Walsh with a poor pass, really. Needs to hit the feet of his Czech striker. Lockie Burt does really well to win it back. Sklenarge, a key foot in again. Muller threading it for Sanders, but it's just overhit. The defence holds firm.
It's the first poor moment other than that shot over the top that I've seen from Poyak. Just really dawdled on the ball there and really just allowed Lockie Burt, the youngster, to get in there and just steal it from the feet of him. But unfortunately, Sklenarge wasn't able to do enough with winning the ball back in that dangerous spot. Positive signs there for the Zebras, though. Just a little bit of an opportunity maybe to get them back into the game. And when you've got strikers that can finish as well as the two that they have up top, can get themselves back into it.
Muller works it to Hume Street and just lofts it forward rather aimlessly. That won't unlock the defence here. Govan. Boyack. Or his own football to the game. Shrieks to his fullback. Receive it again. Quickly releases it to Kubalay. Pressed yesterday and has started pretty sharply again. Boyack again. Just dictating things from the middle, and now they look to attack Blumenthal with a lovely little pass to Leviticus, and that's great defending from the youngster Deans of Bloomfield there.
Everything about that move was beautiful, to be honest. The work on the ball deep from Boyack to this little through ball here from, who was it? Blumenthal to Leviticus, and geez, well done Deans Bloomfield. I haven't had too much of a look at him yet, but he's looked decent enough out there, and that was really good work tracking his runner.
A little bit of trouble with Leviticus earlier, but that was very good defensive play. This one's worked again back, and it was cut out there by Ben Robinson, who had one to beat if he could get there first, but it was nicely done by Leviticus, trading his attacking role for a defensive one on set-piece duty, and sees it back to his keeper.
I'm liking to see this a little bit because we've seen Statella do it before from the last set piece, and perhaps just the Zebras centre-backs becoming aware that they're not looking to hit them quickly over the top on the break, so they perhaps can commit a little bit more and try and win it up the pitch in the right moments.
Jordan Muller's been quite good at slotting back into cover for either of them if they have gone forwards. Yep. I like the marauding centre-backs.
Yep.
They've got a bit of licence, it looks like, in this setup. Statella wants his
team
to push up here.
I know you love Koeman. You're always a big fan of marauding centre-backs.
Oh, the D, I think you're missing on that. Loved it. It was a short fling with Ronald Koeman. Didn't last, as this one's worked down the line, and again looking to make inroads down the right. Bloomfield couldn't quite get there. Dangerous ball looking for Leviticus, who's swung down, but Walsh did just enough to deal with him without infringing. He smashes it long for Sklenage to chase, and he says nah.
Almost one of those cases where I think Leviticus could have just been trying to block him with a leg rather than an actual foul being performed there from the Dwayne pipe. So well done in the end from the big bearded unit.
Tennant chips it down the line. Well cut out by Lockie Burt, tracking back. Retreats to Kamara. Chips it in the Hugh Street direction. He gets his head to it. And again, breaks down. Looking for change in the second half there for the Zebras. This one floats over the top. The flag goes up.
I was just wondering when they were finally going to play a long ball that could catch out Trajewski there. Wouldn't mind another look at that just for a second. Ash, the offside? Was it Trajewski who was offside? Has been just looking to really play off the shoulder of those defenders, and as they've pushed up a couple of times, he's looked to be in an offside position, so a bit unsurprising.
So this one is a crunching challenge from Muller, but did pretty well to keep a hold of it there. Was Dugan, the goal scorer. The opening goal with a thumping drive. This one's worked across to Leviticus, who gets his head up and has a run. He's been busy in this half, and he threads it through, looking for his striker, but just overhit in the end. So we have another look at that offside.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Coming back from an offside position. So good call there from, I think, Josh McInerney on the line.
Yeah. A little bit of a pet hate of mine, though, when strikers just don't work hard enough to keep themselves on side, particularly moments like that. But danger here for Hume City, and geez, the ball just doesn't quite sit right for Sanders. We see pace get onto the ball before it's well defended once again from Barasevich. And he once again gets the block in on the cross, and ball goes out for a corner to the Zebras, where they will look to threaten. Let's see this one land on the big lighthouse head of Lukey Hoogsley, the number 13. Would love to see it here for the Stripey Horses.
Yeah, slightly better delivery than they did fast corner, but Colonel Sanders has got a pretty lethal left foot. He'll look to swing something of quality in here. Splanage, Hughes, Luke, both the centre-backs are up. Plenty of tall timber for Hume City to contend with. And the Colonel poses a good question. He goes in, can't beat the near post defender. So again, wasteful from the set pieces of the Zebras. And it might lead to a counter-attack here for Hume, and there's acres of space and a 2-on-1 developing if they play it right. Leviticus, skips past Bloomfield, then goes the audacious chip. He's absolutely burnt Oliver Kubele. He was on his own in the middle.
Jeez, you know, I'm just furious that I've wasted my shellfish call with Leviticus earlier in the game, because that was shellfish. Looking for the audacious tip over the top of the player of the year goalkeeper, and just gets it all wrong.
I don't know what he's doing there. He has metres in front of him. The keeper's back. It's not like he was off his line. Even if he did execute a good chip, the keeper's probably a good chance to save it. It's just a very low percentage play. And his teammate Kubele in the middle will be filthy on that.
Yep, and I think Hegarty might just be having a word with him after that one, because certainly should have passed the ball.
It was a pretty good game up to that point too. He looked very lively. But,
real Neymar thing to do.
Just the wrong option. Maybe it was just the fact that his team's up 2-0 and in complete control.
Exactly.
He just thought this is a pre-season friendly. Here's one for the highlights reel.
I certainly remember Mario Balotelli getting dragged for attempting a similar sort of thing, though. So
here's Lockie Burt. Can Zebras make them pay back the other way? He's still going here, Burt. It's a mazy little run. He's not got a lot of assistance. Eventually retreats to Hughes, who lets go with a truly awful effort. Muller nods it down. Bloomfield now. Kills one. Couldn't find Sanders.
No mercy for your mates. Describing it as truly awful there.
I've seen that guy do absolute magic on a football pitch. That was not magic. He was capable of a lot better as that slid through. A dangerous ball. Kamara was sharp off his line.
Perhaps Pace could have been a bit more aware of that. Decent work there from Sheckman. But yeah, I've liked Lockie Bird. He takes very quick, small steps, doesn't he, around the ball, which means he's always got a foot in the way on either side. Really lets him shield it quite well. Another player we see a little bit like that's probably Tommy Bellini from over at Olympia. Wish I could do it.
Yeah, I think he's shown a little bit here this evening, Lockie Burt. There's definitely a spot in the team up for grabs if he can nail it down. And
still only about 19 or so.
Not sure of his exact age, but yeah, he'd be definitely in the youth ranks. As this one's worked down the right. Leviticus buzzing about. And his fullback there, Tennant, scrapping away, and eventually Pace comes in.
Good physical battle there with Bloomfield. And he certainly had his hands full out on that left-hand side. Probably Leviticus and Powiak looking like two best players on the pitch for me so far.
They've got the numbers here, Zebras. But Hume City again keep control of the ball till an errant pass goes straight to Sklenage. And it might unlock something if they can make them pay here. Dwayne Pipe bursting forwards here. Walsh, what can he do? Oh, sliding down from behind. And that'll be Bradley at Blumenthal in a regular game, maybe into the book, but I think he'll get away with that in a friendly. He slides in.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
To be fair to him, he's got his foot on the ball, but these days...
Look at the trailing leg.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can't go in with that foot, because your trailing leg is always going to wipe out the other player.
Don't get me wrong, it's a foul. Just he's at least got the ball, he'll avoid a booking in a pre-season game. Stopped what was a pretty promising burst forwards there from Walsh. He's come off second best of the Hume City attacker for his defensive work there.
Yeah, Blumenthal did track back really quite nicely, but the challenge probably didn't need to be made. But it's certainly a positive sign. We see Sklenage get over the ball, but unfortunately, again, it's a poor corner. Sanders takes possession inside the box. He's looking to jink around Barasevic, but just wins the corner there for the Zebras. So another threatening set-piece option for them. But yeah, you do like to see wingers who will track back in that way, like Blumenthal did just then. So I won't keep ripping him about the tackle, but really good effort.
Yeah, I think the coach would be generally happy, even if you do get a card and a foul in that situation, preventing a pretty dangerous-looking attack. The Zebras have got better as this half has worn on. They're just knocking on the door as we tick towards half-time. But again, the set-piece delivery has just not been up to standard on this Zebras side. They've been a little bit wasteful, and they've not had enough looks to be wasting them as they are, as Robinson retreats back to Kamara. 1 minute of added time is what I've got from the sign language of Copper there. Can Zebras make the pay, or will it be Hume with a chance to make it 3 before the break with Blumenthal in space? He's one-on-one with Robinson. He cuts it back inside. This is promising. And Kubale smashes it over the top. Just didn't get his head down on that one.
Yeah, he would have needed 4 sets of goals stacked vertically if he wanted that one to go in.
Yeah, he's gone the over.
Yep.
Again, Kamara opting short. That might have been the last real meaningful moment of this first half at Darcy Street. Pretty good one for the visitors, Hume City. Looked very sharp and just overwhelmed the Zebras' defence. Not better as it's worn on, but a very deserved lead this one.
Just do think the goalkeeper could have come to claim a couple of those balls that you've been seeing the defensive midfielder kind of shielding off the Zebras attacker as the ball trickles into the box, and we've seen it on a couple of occasions. So Stappier, did you say, in the goals?
Yeah.
I think could perhaps just command that area a little bit better, but it's been all Hume City in that first half. Comfortable 2-0 lead, and they've really held on to the ball quite well.
Yep, in complete control as we have a look at the first half highlights here. Bit of a procession in the first 20 minutes. It was all one-way traffic.
And there is Bozdagan with the big hit from the edge of the box. Really sweetly struck, but probably a little bit of a poor clearance there from who we think was Statella, but I may be wrong.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, great finish, clinical. No chance for camera, and there's a penalty played against, I think, Dwayne Pipe, and well slotted away by Blumenthal there to make it 2-0, and probably no less than what Hume City have deserved. Been a brilliant first half from them.
Yep, they've been in control, well worth their lead, and Zebras will need to come up with something a little bit different in the second half if they're going to ask some questions. We'll leave you for now. We'll be back in around about 10 minutes or so for the second 45 of this pre-season friendly at Darcy Street. Who chips it nicely, and this is looking good. He crosses one more well. Blocked by Robinson. Got his foot on it, and he had to. That was Leviticus to run here. It's Statella. He fancies him. He charges at him with the Italian does well to recover. Walk it behind for a corner.
Marcage will be a bit happier with that defending from Statella.
Dictating things from the middle, and now they look to attack Blumenthal with a lovely little pass to Leviticus, and that's great defending from the youngster team to Bloomfield. All right, Bloomfield might get there. Dangerous ball looking for Leviticus, who's Swung down, but Walsh did just enough to deal with him without lead to a counter-attack here for Hume, and there's acres of space and a 2-on-1 developing if they play it right. Leviticus, skips past Bloomfield, then goes through a dangerous chip. He's absolutely burnt Oliver Kumalo, who's on his, they can make them pay here. Dwayne Pipe bursting forwards here. Walsh, what can he do? Sliding down from behind. And that'll be one-on-one with Robinson. He cuts it back inside. This is promising. And Kumalo smashes it over the top. Didn't get him.
These roads intersect, on each one I reflect. These lines write my story. These places change me, each one replacing. Like night into morning, I miss the open air, the going anywhere, riding with you like we used to. Guess I'm better off alone, never know when I'll get home. as the leaves start falling down and the shadows above the town, I can finally see you now. I see the fear inside your eyes, I see the pain.
Back for the second half.
Back live.
That's Darcy Street, 2-0 the score. Hume City in command, looking fairly comfortable out there at the moment. Zebras still in the sheds for now. Getting some messages from Gabriel Marcage. They're going to need to make a few changes because if they go in with the same approach in this second half, it could rather get ugly, I'm afraid. But we'll have to see. And they might want to think about sticking someone near, in the same vicinity as the number 6. And that would be a good starting point, I reckon, Jake.
I really agree with you there, mate. I just think, particularly if they're going to be sticking with this 4-1-2-1-2 formation that probably appears to be Marcage's favoured one at the moment, as it allows Sklinage, Sanders and Huxley to play together. If they're going to stick with that, really going to need a bit of tactical direction from the manager there, perhaps to just get Huxley to stick a bit tighter to Pawiak and just prevent him from really commanding the players he has so far for Hume City. So perhaps something that we could see a little bit more of, or perhaps all of those words just indicate my tactical incompetence, Andrew.
We'll see what Marcage has up his sleeve. As I said, the players still in the rooms. Hume are out and ready to go for the second half. They're eager to carry on, pick up where they left off. It's a very tidy football though, moving the ball around quite nicely. The Turkish club, and Zebras will wait and see how they respond. They perhaps can comfort themselves with the fact that they're going to the scoring end in this half. And there's a slight breeze. It's picking up a little bit as the contest has worn on, not quite to the levels it was yesterday, but it would be favouring the end Zebras are going to in this half. But, certainly keeping him in the rooms. I don't know if he's brought out the hairdryer, probably not for a pre-season game, I wouldn't have thought, but he's keeping him in there late.
Yes, well, it's just giving a little bit of that tactical direction, because Marcage is he's just about the most qualified ref around, isn't he? Manager around is Gabriel Marcage. So I'm sorry he'd have a bit to say to his players, and they'll come out with a bit of a different impetus at the start of this half.
Well, the Hume boys are just going through their paces, and they're not going to wait. They're just going to start kicking the ball around and do their own thing. Very professional outfit. The big pre-season games keep coming over the coming weeks. Hume City not the only Victorian team down. Next week we've got Bentley Greens coming down to take on these two teams. One of the real powerhouses of the NPL Victoria. They've won a couple of major trophies over the past couple of years.
Devonport, could they?
But no, they were the ones who did get past Devonport. It took them 120 minutes, but they finally stuck one in. Had to contend with a mild typhoon, but they got there in the end. Bentley Greens, very familiar to
underwater hockey. There was a bit of underwater football that day.
One of the crazier footballing games you'll see, that one. But, Bentley eventually got through, so they'll be down on a slightly nicer pitch than we saw that day. Slightly better condition at the moment. Darcy Street looking an absolute treat this time of year. They're down, and then Pascoe Vale will come down and play South Hobart the week after that. So plenty of top footballing action to be seen in the pre-season. Other pre-season results: Olympia Warriors 7-0 over Glenorchy Knights earlier today. As our producer just giving a little passive aggressiveness here to the Zebras, telling them to get on with it.
No, he's starting to run out.
And look at him! Look at, as soon as he's typed that, they've rocked up. So Ash has got word down to the Zebras change rooms, and we're finally ready to go here. And they make their way out onto the pitch. I don't think.
Just reading some fun facts here about the Hume City FC. There's been quite a few iterations of this club. Throughout the years, there's been the North Coburg Soccer Club, Coburg United Soccer Club, Holland Park Football Club, and now Hume City FC. And just in celebration of their heritage, are also known locally as Anadoluspor. Just sticking with the Turkish theme of the club there. So certainly been around for a long time, and one of Victoria's well-established teams.
it's a good future. Very young squad. I think, only 2 players over the age of 25 in their squad, and one of them's the player coach. So a very young group, and exciting times ahead for Hume City. We're back underway, and one substitution looks like it's been made, because I can see Jordan Mundy out there, and James, just the one. So he's come on for Matthew Pace, I think.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, so Jordan Mundy on for Matthew Pace, the only change. There could have been 6 changes to the Hume team. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
We just start to get the second half rolling again here, with the Zebras looking to just try and hold on to the ball for a bit. One out there from Barasevich, but the ball only goes as far as Colonel Sanders, who looks to play in behind there to Lachlan Burt. Oh, beautiful challenge there between Bloomfield, but well linked up there too between Burt and Sanders, and a shot from distance from Burt, but geez, didn't quite get the power that he wanted. But positive signs there just at the beginning of the second half there for the Hobart Zebras, so good work.
So Sean target as Jaden Hay makes his way to the stands. There's a player that the Zebras would love to have out there, but he's recovering from some off-season surgery. And good to go in a few weeks, but chance here for Leviticus, who plays in a teasing ball and walks it really well to get that header and cushion it to his keeper. Well done,
really brilliant work from the dome of the Dwayne pipe right there.
Well, hang on. Big Greenwald doing some run-throughs on the sideline. That's what we like to see. Get him on. Come on, Fegs. Get him on.
Could see him out there later on. Certainly would be worth the banter alone. Would have been tempted to get him up into the commentary box.
If I'd have known he'd be wasted on the pine.
No,
absolutely.
exactly.
Could have got him a microphone. Chicago kid. The season he had for the Zebras last year.
Certainly was the biggest, baddest bloke in town last year in Tasmania. He'll be looking to take his career to the next level.
The captain slides it across here, and they'll look it around the back. Treats to his keeper. Didn't like what he saw there. Not sure who the number 18 is.
Yeah, not named on our team sheet.
It's question mark Taylor.
Ah, there we go.
So that's really clearing things up.
He certainly is the mystery man, isn't he, old question mark Taylor? And we see him get onto the ball there, and looking up the right-hand side, they've got a bit more space this time, and like what they see Hume City. Jinks inside, Hoogsloot plays it across to the goal scorer in the first half, who looks to combine with Trachevsky. Well defended there from, I think, Ben Robinson, the former Kingborough centre-back. Dwayne Pipe looks to just settle on the ball and hang on to it, but can't offer anything more than a bit of a bash into Blumenthal, and then just lumps it up the field to nobody in particular.
So the question mark will carry this one out of defence.
The mystery man.
Actually get you his name in a second here. Sure, it's not question mark.
Well, a Norwegian Liverpool fan named their child YNWA the other day, so there's every possibility that we could have question mark Taylor out on the pitch. Doubtful, but possible. We see Pawiak get onto the ball again. He combines with a teammate, and they look out to Blumenthal. Looks to play in over the top to Trachevsky, who's actually been pretty quiet for the striker out there for Hume City today. Bloomfield looks up this side, and Burt tries to turn, but cops a boot to the back of the leg there from the right back. Probably a foul there, but Copper just giving him nothing.
Oh, it's the body check.
Jeez, a bit unnecessary there from Leviticus.
Apparently body checks are not expressly forbidden. That one's
giving him a fair whack with the elbow.
There we go. Something you see on an ice hockey rink, Darcy Street. But you'll get
friendly.
a chance on the ball there. He's been very busy. Here's Statella.
He's a good competitor, and I like him, and just a little bit clumsy there from the Italian centre-back, getting tripped up. But the Zebras will hold on to the ball here, and probably should just look to slow it down, but Statella gets things going again quite quickly. Bird on the ball, confronted by Leviticus. He lumps it in the direction of Sanders and Hoogsloot, but nothing doing for the Zebras, and Blumenthal looks to release. He looks to Barasevich, and Barasevich looks over the top to Drajewski, and he's got all kinds of space over here for Leviticus, but just cannot find him with the ball. Disappointing there from Drajewski, because really with that kind of space, you've got to at least work the keeper.
Yeah, great chance. It goes banging. It's Burt. He's out after this one, but good sliding challenge from Taylor.
Question mark Taylor.
He's done well. Got across to cover it. But, just thinking about Zebras when they have gone forwards in the air. For all their aerial presence, they've been beaten in the air by this Hume City defence most of the time.
Do you reckon the situation with Taylor could be a bit like Prince, where he's just changed his name to the single name? He's just Taylor.
Maybe his parents called him Taylor. I don't know. He's just dropped it down the line. It's a fancy effort there.
Oh, love that from Spinage. Really a little bit of Olivier Giroud or Zlatan about that, using the outside of the boot.
He did score that remarkable kind of backheel goal last year, which was highly improbable and fooled even our cameras for the most part.
Yeah.
It was a tough one to pick up, but
audacious.
He's got that in his locker, Spinage. He's very skillful.
That's why he scored about 30-odd goals in about 20 games last year. He is a clinical striker.
As is this man, Colonel Sanders, and he turns onto the left and works it in the Burt direction, but floats away from him and out of play. And the first substitution is going to be made, and it will be the Chicago kid, Nick Grunwald, introduced.
And here he is. Welcome back.
For the captain, Govan. So we're going to see that Sanders, the Grunwald duel that certainly looking forward to.
Hey.
We really need to get these players mic'd up, I think.
It's applause rings around the stadium.
So Nick Grunwald out there, replacing Govan, the captain. Throws down the line. Intent to get in front there from Deans. Out the back, forced to Teller goes the early release. The first test for Grunwald, and
deals with it fine.
Gets it back to his keeper.
Just a little bit of a touch off the really tidy salad that was a feature of Grunwald throughout his time in Tasmania. He looks across to his partner in question mark Taylor, and they look to the deep dropping midfield player. Calm on the ball, as is typical there from Grunwald, and gets his head up. Ball is whacked up over the top, but only as far as the Dwayne pipe. Look at that again. Really brilliant midfield work from the Hume City players. They give no time on the ball, do they, Andrew?
None at all. It's just quicker thinking required from the players, quicker skill execution, perhaps something they're not accustomed to, some of these Zebras youngsters, especially a few of the players who haven't played a whole lot since the end of last year. As this one's worked wide here to Tennant, who's been impressive. Dangerous ball, this one. He'll take it wide and try and win a corner. Statella just leaning on him, and he wins the throw in. Frustrated there as the Italian got the better of him. As we have another look at this Jakub Spinage effort. Trying the miraculous, that would have been some goal.
Yeah, just perhaps caught him a little bit too high up the foot there. Couldn't get that sharp point of the heel that you see Zlatan score all kinds of beautiful goals with.
Huge salute, flicks on. Grunwald. Likewise into the middle. Dwayne Walsh gets it to Jordan Mundy, and he chips it over the top, but it's dealt with. Mundy gets a second chance to thread one through, but picks out the Chicago kid.
Yeah, looking more like a lazy Sunday there from Mundy, so could have hit those balls a little bit harder to play them through. Just lacking a little bit of intent perhaps there, and Hume recover the ball as she's almost getting a repetitive strain injury from saying that.
He's the paw. His business works it wide down the left. A chance for a cross played in. Robinson doesn't deal with it. Leaves it to Hughes to deal with it coming together. But the right decision from the referee. Not fooled by that. It's well officiated.
Tell you what, he looked like he'd been hit by a hydraulic well. Just went completely the wrong direction from where the contact hit him.
Yeah, not fooled was it Brenton Copper. Sanders barking out the orders down the pitch for his teammates. A couple more subs, some run-throughs on the Hume City bench. We saw them every few minutes making a substitution yesterday. We might see a similar type setup today, as this one's thrown to the dangerous Kubalay. Was really impressed with him yesterday. It's a promising player. Looks like another sub in the offing. Zachary Secunda, who we saw yesterday. Seems like he might be being prepped to come on. Long ball chased down by Blumenthal. Ships it to the top of the box. They work it into some space. Who's going to pull the trigger eventually? Opting to do so was Bosdugan, who's already scored once from a similar position. Couldn't beat Kamara on this occasion.
Yeah, from not quite getting his shot in the right areas there, the big boss. Just goes down, straight down the throat of Camera, really, and finally gives the Zebras a chance to settle on the ball. Holding their position quite high up the pitch at this stage here, Hume, and a few runs come in beside, they start to drop a little bit deeper. Robinson works the ball up to the Dwayne Pipe. He looks to play a little 1-2. They look to play it over the top to Jordan Mundy, but pass was a little bit errant there, you have to say, from Ben Robinson.
Yeah, just lacking a little bit of the Christmas that was required. The big centre back charging forwards there. No real rush to take the throw here. It's going well in their keeping. The paw off is short and the lead is on it. This one's chipped forward. Well done, Robinson. One ahead of them, got clattered from behind. In the end, Hume City recover the ball and look to launch it forwards. A searching pass there for Trajewski. Well done, Statella.
Well done.
Strength from the big Italian.
And wins the foul too. Brilliant work. And I want to be seeing a lot more of this kind of play from Statella throughout the season than we saw in the first half, I think. Some really good work there, using his strength quite well, managing to get the ball back to his keeper and winning the foul. Doing everything right there, Statella, so positive signs for the Italian import. Gets his head up, looks to Robinson. Hoogsloot dropping a little bit deeper. Didn't quite like what he saw up the pitch, so he looks to go to Sheckman Camera. Really not looking to press too high up the pitch, are they, here, Hume City? They look to go the lob ball over the top to Burt. Ooh. It's a really hard one to track, those balls coming in over the top, but Burt had made a decent run there, and it was a decent ball in itself. Perhaps could just look to do that a little bit more if Hume City opt to keep their line a bit higher up the pitch, as they've looked to do throughout the time that Grunwald's been back on the pitch.
Yeah, and the communication between the defence and Gian Tapia in goals hasn't always been spot on, as you touched on earlier. A few times he's probably needed to come collect the ball, so perhaps an area the Zebras can look to exploit with those balls in behind and over the top.
Bit of vintage Zebras rather than the schlick looking outfit that Markaj is starting to turn them into. Bit of the old glory days, getting the tractors out.
It was a good 2 months while it lasted. Seeing that from Launceston City this year, another one of the Italian clubs, is this one's crossed dangerously, but in the end, helpful enough for Sheck Kamara. Saville working as an assistant at Lonnie City is he? Surging into the boxes. It's Blumenthal. Didn't make good contact with that one. Ooh. He's training once a week. The roles reversed. Jez Kemp, the senior coach there at City, with Sav as his assistant. So they've flipped that round. And
well one back there from Tennant. Oh, good coming together there from Hoogsloot.
Great to see them both get up immediately too. Physical clash, that one. So enjoyed the work of Hayden Tennant. Fullback for Hume. And he's now wearing the captain's armband. Following the departure of Govan.
He didn't look too happy about that decision, but it did look to me like it had just taken the touch off him after Hoogie had got his tackle in. Zebra's looking to be a lot calmer on the ball in this half, but it's certainly being afforded to them by a Hume team that are really comfortable just sitting back with a 2-goal lead. They need a bit more of this over the top to Spinage. And does he keep on side, but just opted to go the body rather than the ball there, which was a bit unfortunate. And old Taylor has just gotten in and nicked it away from him. Really good defending there from the mystery man.
Oh, question marks over his name, but no question marks over his defensive ability, that's for sure. He's been rock solid.
John Champion-like from you there, Cooling. Well done.
Won everything that's come his way. There's Taylor. Splanage. It's his boot on that, and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, and with Govaning over to the Pine at the moment, looking like they've got some pretty good centre-back stocks there, particularly adding in Grunwald. This Hume City lineup should be quite a team to watch over in the NPL Victoria.
Yeah, well, speaking to the media yesterday, David Smith, he said, look, it's probably the biggest difference between Tasmania and Victoria. He said, we've got 19 players. We don't know who's in the best 11. Any of them could start, whereas down here, perhaps you've got 8 or 9 names on a team sheet. You know who's going to start. There's perhaps not quite the depth down here, and in Victoria, every squad's got a number of players just waiting to replace you if you're not putting in.
Well, we may have a 20th of the population, but we don't have a 20th of the quality, at least.
That's true, as Grunwald wins a header and then he'll have to go
Not quite
again.
Iceland, though, Tasmania.
Oh, Iceland. There's a success story. Truly miraculous, that one, as Robinson's forced to defend on Blumenthal here, who turns him and works it inside to Trajewski, who looked to play a 1-2, but Statella able to mop up.
Yeah, just all the strikers have really struggled to get involved in this game here today, you'd have to say, Andrew. I've not seen too much of Splanage apart from that outside of the boot flicked attempt. We've been seeing Sanders getting increasingly deeper into the pitch to try and link up with his midfielders, and Hoogsloot playing in a slightly withdrawn role too. It's really not been the day of the strikers. I think the wider players and fullbacks and the form of Pawiak it's been the best aspect of football here today. It's a little tug there on Leviticus before he gets the ball to Sheckman Cameron goal. Not quite the ball that he wanted, but some good play out there.
So Sanders back to Statella, demanding someone off a short, and that's someone as Sanders, who is certainly trying to get more involved, playing more of a midfielder type role in this half. Kamara not really finding a way to break through these lines. Hume City though, very compact when they shift into defence. Long ball over the top. Can Deans of Bloomfield get him behind? He plays the early cross and it'll be easy pickings for the keeper. Plucks that one out of the air. And runs it short to the paw. Really has dominated the midfield today. He's run the show. Super impressive display for him. There's Grunwald.
I tell you what, he's a little bit of Kobe Kemp about him, but just another level above, isn't it? He's just a real quality player. I've enjoyed watching him.
He's run his own race.
Good physicality there from Sotelo, who just stands his ground, and Trajewski ends up on the floor. Great work from the Italian centre-back, who's had a really improved performance in this half. I think Makaj will certainly be a lot happier with how he's been going. Really starting to look to play these balls in behind too, the Zebs, which I quite like. You see Bosdegam, the Boz, get onto the ball and look to play Trajewski through, but calmly taken away again there from Statella before camera doesn't get a brilliant clearance on top of it. Recovered again by that man, Pawiak.
Any chance anyone wants to go near him? Any chance? To be fair to him, he's reading the game very cleverly, and as soon as someone does get near him, he takes off and finds another. He just runs, he gets between the lines, he finds those pockets of space, and he's just running the show. It's great to watch.
Good acceleration, doesn't he?
He doesn't stop running. He's worked so hard. That's why he gets so much of the ball, because he's always offering an option. And they're happy to hit him every time as a substitution being ready. And it looks like Attila the Hun set to come on here.
Beware.
Attila Offley. So the Hun set to enter the fray, and he will replace Leviticus, who had a very lively first 45. Sheck Kamara plays this one to Statella. Now Geordie Muller. Reminiscent of what we saw from Hume in the first half. Stroking around the back. Kamara's got himself into all sorts of trouble here though. Will they be made to pay? 3-on-1. Here's Attila just on the ground. Drives into Kamara and gets a piece of it, but not enough to keep it out. And it's 3-0. Not a good moment for the keeper there. His turnover led to the chance and then unable to keep it out. And the man who'd been on for all of 30 seconds hits the score sheet. Attila Offley. It was all too easy there. The Zebras caught out badly at the back, exposed after the turnover. Really, it was Statella back against 3 attackers. Keeper, well, he's probably got to do better with that one. Kamara, he's had 30 seconds to forget there, unfortunately. Last year's MPL Tasmania goalkeeper of the year. He was outstanding last season, great shot stopper, but I think he'd rather have that passage of play back. So 3-0 now to Hume. Just as Zebras were having a reasonable little spell, immediately find themselves another goal down. As the Port distributes back to Taylor. Now Grunwald. There's it. Trajewski. Oh, that's a nice little move inside. Sanders got back and did well to put him off. The whistle's blown though. A free kick Hume's way and a chance for a double change here. So 2 substitutions being readied. Looks like Joseph Conyett and Gideon Sweet are set to come on.
Yeah, I thought I saw Gideon Sweet out there earlier on. Going to be looking forward to calling that name.
And being replaced is Andrew Poyak, who can take a well-earned break because he has been sensational today. Classy display from him. And number 9, Bradley Blumenthal, also making way as Hume continue to rotate through their squad here. It's a very happy-looking Poyak on the bench, and why not?
You see Attila the Hun get on the ball and look to immediately drive at goal. Shows some dribbling prowess before the ball's tucked into Trajewski. He looks to turn, well held by Robinson, and great defending there from the Zebras. Really held their formation quite well there, but the ball gets out to Tennant, who crosses in hard. And really well done there from the Dwayne pipe, because the ball probably would have fallen to the substitute Gideon Sweet right there, which would have been quite sour for Zebras fans.
Yeah, very sour aftertaste, I reckon, if he had got in. Made it 4-zip. There's a substitution being made by Zebras, a double change, in fact. I think that's Ryan Backhouse and Adam McCune. So Monday and Sunday, both. Yep. Nope, they're not going to be both on the pitch because Monday's being withdrawn for Sunday.
Well, there you go. The week's flowing backwards here.
We're going in reverse.
Darcy Street. So just see Sunday McCune, so famously named for turning up to a game on the wrong day.
Immortalised. So
Immortalised, yeah.
Yep. We're rolling back the calendar here at Darcy Street, and 3-0
right.
the score to Hume.
Yeah, it may be Saturday here, but it's gone Monday, Sunday. You see Grunwald get back onto the ball. See how these changes will take effect into the game. Attila the Hun showing some real strength and solidity and just flicks inside there. Great power, and it just falls to the back post. Tucked away there by the substitute. What a sweet moment for Gideon.
All too easy, and how's the raw power of Attila the Hun just charging in there. He's already got one, and he made that one with a powerful
beautiful
run.
Wasn't it?
He just charged past the Zebras defence, who are really struggling to deal with it.
It really looked a lot like Kevin Prince Boateng, I have to say. Just really showing that strength and power and driving up the side, and beautiful ball across, and Gideon Sweet just slotting away in a position that he could not have missed.
Yeah, all too easy there.
Rampaging from the hordes of Attila the Hun.
It was powerful stuff. And it's getting ugly now. 4-0 the score in favour of Hume. Their dominance starting to be reflected. Huxley gets taken down there by the Hun.
Yeah, and just showing some real bite there. He took a poor touch and just immediately wasn't going to allow his team the chance to be giving away an opportunity. So Probably sensibly just gives away the foul there. There was a fair bit of space in front of the Zebras box then. But still a dangerous position here for Geordie Muller and Sklanage to have a look at.
Sklanage as he curl onto the back post, and again it's easy pickings for Tapia. They've just not asked enough questions from these set pieces today. They've been outplayed when they have had chances.
They had a shot on target other than Sklanage's?
A couple from distance, but nothing meaningful really. You can't say that the score at the moment is undeserved.
No, certainly not. They've been the superior team out here, Hume, and just hold on to the ball really well, which I like to see. It's just a really important part of the tactical game to do that, because you're just going to tire out teams as the game goes on. It's worked really well for them today, and they're going to look to make another switch here with Zachary Secunda coming onto the pitch and giving a rest here to, could it be, question mark Taylor?
Yeah, it looks as if the question mark is being removed for Zachary Secunda, who played at left back yesterday. Let's see where he slots in today. So 20 minutes to go. Can Zebras salvage something out of this? Will there be more pain? We saw Hume finishing very strongly yesterday against South Hobart. A very fit team. They've got obviously already 4 or 5 players who are pretty fresh out there and all hungry and looking to stake a spot in the starting lineup. Going to be a tough little 20-minute period for the Zebras defence, I suspect. Tapia guides this one. He's midfielder there.
A little bit of banter going on there over in the corner from a few South Hobart players that have turned up to watch, and the team that they were playing yesterday. Good to see a little bit of community in football around Australia for the boys. Tiller the Hun again getting onto the ball before Deans Bloomfield, who has been pretty good out here. The young player manages to get the ball away, but only as far as Tennant before Geordie Muller gives him a little bit of a pull and a push. And it will be a free to Hume before Grunwald tries to take it about 30 metres away from where it was actually given. Copper directs the ball a bit further up the pitch. Normally you don't see defenders trying to steal 30 metres the other way, but...
Well, we've had the days of the week going backwards, so now we're seeing defenders trying to take next thing you know, they'll be taking the throw in, that we won't be stealing 5 or 10 yards every time. Then we will know we've entered the upside down. As Nick Grunwald gets on it, works it to Conyett. Well done to win the ball back there by Sklanage. Worked it with Sanders here. Perhaps he's an opening. Backhouse looking to take on the fullback.
Been great today, hasn't he, Tennant?
Hayden Tennant, I don't think he's put a foot wrong. He's been outstanding. He's got forward. He's supported the attacks, and defensively
even
he's been
then,
a wall.
with the fresh substitute running at him, just certainly no chance of getting by there for Backhouse. Does have a little bit of pace in his locker. The ball is going to be heaved in here by Colonel Sanders. Greasy delivery though. It's just knocked away by Grunwald, but not quite cleared by Hume. Sanders lobs it into the far post. But with the Dwayne Pipe arriving, Stappier clears, catches the ball, looks to play it out quite quickly here, and Hume are on the break.
They are, and they've got a burning Attila the Hun down the right, but the ball's just going to hold up in the breeze. And
he is the type of player that you would not love to play against.
oh, he'd be a nightmare. He's an absolute powerhouse, and he's running straight at Statella here. One way, then the other. He drops the shoulder inside.
Oh, and you wouldn't want to lose your shin pad coming against him like Bloomfield's just done. You know, risking getting a snap tibia doing that, because the amount of power that this bloke has in his locker is quite scary for the Zebras boys, but
really
well done.
By him.
Yep, well done,
really
track back.
Tracked. He helped his central defender out because he got beaten by the sharp change of direction. But
and that's what you need to do as a fullback. If you're getting beaten for the first time, you try again. That's exactly what Bloomfield did and ended up winning out, and no harm done.
The Dwayne Pipe trying to get something going. Long and strong they go. This should be Tappier's all day long. Indeed it is.
Just then, absolutely no chance of that ball getting in behind because of how well Tennant had positioned himself there. Just wisely sticking about a metre off the shoulder of Backhouse there, and just capable of cutting anything off that's going in behind. Robinson heaves the ball back into play. Direction Sklanage. Sanders from distance. Oh, what an attempt there. Ambitious from Colonel Sanders, but Stappier was equal to it. Another shot on target, and I don't mind this one from the Zebs as Lukey Hoogsley just barrels through midfield. They're finding a bit of space here, the Zebras. I think that's Sunday McEwen who combines Jakob Sklenage. He gets his head up, crosses into the middle, looks for the head of Sanders, but well headed away by Grunwald, and Hume City once again repel the ball.
Yeah, good defensive work from Grunwald there, and Zebras having a nice couple of little moments here as Muller scrapping for it on the far sideline. It's getting a bit cold and windy out there as we reach the end of this one. 15 minutes to go. Zebras looking to find that consolation marker that Sanders tried to inspire. He scored from downtown before, reminiscent of his goal of the year effort, as Sklenage with a first-time cross. Again, straight out of play. Just be the goal kick. Just haven't quite had that quality in the final third today, Zebras. It's broken down for them. Still very early days of the pre-season, but that's an area they need to get a little bit sharper in.
Yeah, just lacking a little with the interplay and short play, which is going to be a really crucial part of the component if you stick with the 4-1-2-1-2 throughout, or 4-4-2 diamond rather, throughout the season. Something that I'll have to work on because there may be a bit of lack of width with that formation.
Again, you see the fullback nodding on in the direction.
Especially when Attila the Hun is pegging back the fullback like this, you're really going to struggle to get width.
He's made an impact, hasn't he, Attila Offley? He's a powerful customer. And he's
I'd love to see him play down here, frankly.
He's really worried them. It's Grunwald. The knee-high socks there, the big Chicago kid rocking. He spreads this one across. He'll get the ball back again in a second.
Handsome looking kit too, this Hume City one.
Yeah, I like it. Very
Couple
sharp.
of good colours.
Very sharp looking kit, that one. This one's worked down the left. Chips it down the line. Robinson's got some work to do here, and he clears it down onto the basketball courts there. More action on the Hume City bench.
Surprised I haven't been for a trundle over there, actually.
Not a bad spot for a trundle.
Yeah.
No rush to take the throw in. Eventually they do, and finds Gideon Sweet. Goes in the middle to Coneyat. Grunwald. Shorty goes to Attila the Hun, who immediately looks to get up and drive again and then slide it through with the outside of the foot. It was with numbers back, although they don't deal with it.
That's a foul.
That's a free kick in a very promising area for Bosdagan.
Oh, and we might see some set-piece goodness right here, Andrew Calling, because it is in a very dangerous spot.
I think the Chicago kid might just fancy this. He scored a free kick for her in a pre-season game a couple
certainly
of weeks ago.
inserting himself right into the centre of the fray here, Grunwald. He could be looking to curl this one into that top right corner with his right boot.
Well, he did just that in one of their earlier friendlies a week or so ago now, so I think he's probably, on the basis of that, got every right to take this one.
There we go. He looks like he's taking it.
Brave man to get in between Attila
and the ball. Yeah, he's a very brave man.
We know courage is a trait the Chicago kid certainly has, and he's also got a very sweet right foot.
Just Paul Rank as the import here. A little bit of Ronald Koeman, the player about him.
He's got a free kick in his final game for Zebras as well, I believe, Grunwald. So
here we go, Grunwald looking for the top right corner. Could Attila the Hun take it? Looks to be Grunwald. Curls it. Oh, and he's hit the post. Not a bad effort there from Grunwald, thinking that Camera was going to go out to his left-hand side. Camera dives right, and it was the right way, but she's very close there from Grunwald. Just sees the keeper take that little step to his left, and he was going to be beaten if that one was on target. Just centimetres away there for Grunwald for scoring against his old team. He would have liked taking the chockies on that one, wouldn't he?
Well, if they wouldn't have heard the end of that one,
Right.
Bit around that end. Was not far away. Beautiful technique. Just drops the ball with his. So he didn't realise he kept the ball, but he had, and they're working on down the wing to Deans Bloomfield. Takes that touch in front of him, but again, Tennant. He's not been able to get in behind him all afternoon, but in the end of corner, and we please see some good delivery this time. I think the first man, this is like Mikel Arteta coming back from a broken leg, Morgs. Just can't get it past the first man.
Into the wall, Mikel. He won't be seeing a wall on the corner, fortunately, Andrew. So
a short corner though. Walsh
could
and Akers
do.
the
Walsh
space.
takes it. Walsh looks to curl on his right. It's a good delivery, but Really well defended there from, I think, Bosdagan getting back in there, the attacking midfielder. Full credit to the Bos there. He's doing everything on the pitch.
Full credit to the Dwayne Pipe for actually putting a good cross in.
Yep.
First time all day from a corner they've actually tested them.
A little bit of a pity they didn't have somebody arriving from distance there.
There's a couple of subs being ready for Zebras here on the bench.
And that will be the end of Bosdagan, the Boz's day, and he opened the scoring with a good drive from the edge of the box and has just generally impressed, particularly with that last header away there. Really good all-round performance from Bosdagan.
James Ackley is one of the players coming on, and Luke Biggin is the other man coming on, another new face in this lineup. Ackley we saw a bit of last season.
Bit of Jackson Morgan coming onto the pitch, the number 14.
Yeah,
Great last name.
I'll tell you what, he was very impressive yesterday, Jackson Morgan. He was a real game breaker. Caused South a few headaches with those bursting runs from midfield.
Unsurprising with heritage like that. The Morgans are...
Relative of yours, isn't
Yep, definitely.
He was a very, very good player for them yesterday. See if he can make an impact in the final 10 minutes today. Here's Sunday McEwen. Did Backhouse no favours at all. Tennant cut it out, and now Attila the Hun, who's got past Bloomfield. He's on his bike and he's surging into the box. He's got two to pick out. Morgan's one of them who just peeled off a little and blocked behind for a corner.
Yeah, don't think that was a corner. No, straight back into Attila the Hun there. So really well defended there. No idea who it was. It could have been
Biggin.
Biggin.
Just on.
Yep, there you go.
Good first involvement.
Well, that was a big in from Biggin.
Robinson has got plenty of time, not being pressed, so we'll just casually shell it back to the keeper. I think a few of these Zebras fighting for the full-time whistle here at the moment. First full 90 minute out for a few of them.
You know what they should be doing? Screaming for the burn to make those gains to make it as the big club this year. Great ball over the top there to Sklanage, who takes a decent touch, but well defended once again from Hume City. Grimwald gets involved too, but it's beautiful positioning at the top of the box there from a new player, number 13 for Hume City.
Structurally, they've been very, very set. This back four and the midfield supporting them. They've been spot on with the positioning all day. The Zebras have just not had that quality to break them down.
I've liked seeing Robinson come in and heave a few of these throws with the springy wrists that he's got. See Sunday McEwen work into a bit of space, but it's a poor delivery and poorly dealt with by Sapir there. Just had the only option he really had on there was Sklanage at the near post and just opted to go centre goal, which wasn't quite the right option, but some good work out there wide by Sunday McEwen to get into that spot. As we see Conyet try and flick the ball up over the top to Kubalai, but has to go again and collect. He looks out wide to another new player. Sorry, mate, got no idea who you are. Good delivery, though. Trajewski in a dangerous position there, making the run. Some really good work there from
Your man Gideon Sweet, wasn't it?
There you go, Sweet.
Another sub in the offing here. Zebras going to pull Jake Pullen. Looks like he's going to come on.
Yeah, another good name there.
And he will replace Deans Bloomfield,
Who has been pretty decent out there, I have to say, for a young-looking lad.
I think that's all of the Zebras' substitutions now made, with the exception of the backup keeper.
He's really had his hands full on that side with Tennant working hard up and down there, so probably really got a good experience out of that there, Bloomfield.
Yeah, he'll have learned plenty.
Oh, and we see Morgan get into a dangerous position. Will he go himself or pass? Passes, and what a save there from Shek Camera. Well done. As the ball falls away to the Dwayne Pipe, they'll look to get on the break here, the Zebs. Just flicked with the outside of the boot by the Dwayne Pipe before Backhouse makes the most of that contact from Tennant. And we free kick to the Zebs here, looking to relieve a little bit of pressure.
Going to replay that Kamara save in a moment for you. A good piece of keeping. Kubalai might have been able to make it 5-0 to Hume City.
Really good hold-up play in the box there from Morgan, the sub that's been introduced. Just to knock it back and wait for players to arrive. Sensible, calm. The Zebs try to get it up. this right-hand side.
Robinson just charging
Likes,
force.
yeah, likes barging through, doesn't he?
So we have another look at this sharp piece of keeping. Morgan just squaring it back here. And Kubelay's left-footed effort was hit with some real venom. That's a good stop.
Good
from
reflex
Shekamara.
save.
Take that one out. Little trouble invited here though, and they're going to break down.
Trajewski has a till of the Hun and
3-on-2.
Morgan breaks wide. He's got a till of the Hun centre. He's just gone offside a little. Falls it back for Trajewski, who takes an abhorrent touch. And the ball is just not dealt with. Trajewski gets another chance. Koulibaly.
I think there's a few tired bodies out there for Zebras.
Thrown in the Napoli defender there. It's rather
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly who's had the shot there.
What,
Just a poor touch there from Trajewski.
Very impressive signing if either of these clubs could sign Koulibaly. But they're holding on here, Zebras. Robinson getting his foot on that one, but they're tiring. And they're not perhaps tracking back quite as well, which is why we're seeing a few of these odd man rushes back the other way. Koulibaly drives it in short, and there was Geordie Muller to put it behind.
My team sheet for the Hume City has just gone flat, Andrew, so apologies if I have to refer to people as bloke at any point.
Oh, mate. Sweet and Koulibaly down on this corner, and it's going to be Gideon Sweet with that sweet left foot. Deflects to the path of Sunday McEwen, who just smashes it out of there. Here's the impressive Tennant. Inside the final 5 minutes now. Keeper.
Good work, Dwayne Piper, with a bit of pressure on there from the big beard. But it's just switched out again to Koulibaly. He's got Morgan centrally and Gideon Sweet on the other side. It falls to Morgan, who drives, but well blocked by Statella before Attila the Hun.
He's fortunate to get a corner there.
He's very fortunate to get a corner because he's probably missed the goal by about 10 metres.
Yeah, his shot didn't really warrant the corner. It was always going well wide. Just took a little bit of Ben
good
Robinson.
Good block there from Statella.
I'm not sure what Robinson's doing there. Doesn't need to make that block. So, hang on a second. Apparently, if you've been subbed off, you can't come back on. So Leviticus is in there.
Surely that's forbidden.
No, apparently not. He's allowed it.
Oh, well, there you go.
So Leviticus back on.
Hun from distance. Hit it, son.
He's got to.
Oh, got to hit it. Hit it. Ah, disappointing there from the Hun. He had acres of space. Was always going to set himself for the shot. You could just feel it, couldn't you? But unfortunately for him, he couldn't quite keep it down. Just leaning back perhaps a little bit too much on that shot, though. I've no doubt I could go nowhere near close to representing his technique.
Impressed with him. He's added something since coming on, that's for sure.
Real direct player.
Big fella. Statella spreads this wide for Robinson.
You need an impressive level of fitness to play that directly, so really good to see from Attila the Hun. But they're combining well here, the Zebs, as Sanders look to turn before Tennant once again just gets in there and deals with any danger. Really impressive from him today. Sweet and Leviticus combine. Goes back out to the left side, but offside given against, must have been Sweet, I think.
Yep, just strayed there. Interesting that Robinson now playing at right back, bombing on with Biggin slotting in alongside Statella, allowing Robinson's attacking instincts to just take over a little as he marauders forward. Speaking of, Dwayne Walsh, the target of this long ball, but it's been much better in the second half, Stattia, picking up those long balls over the top. No indecision whatsoever.
Morgan providing an outlet for Attila on the right-hand side before just trying to jink it past, and he does very well. He's gotten himself into a beautiful position here. Unselfishly switches to Sweet, who looks on the left boot and just shovels it ugly over the top.
There's a lovely rampaging run from Morgan, beating all comers, and then switching it out wide for Sweet.
Almost wished he'd just gone himself. It's a really good jinking run there from Morgan.
I can understand, having watched this side over the past couple of days, why David Smith said he reckons he's got 19 players all capable of playing in the best 11. No one was secured a spot. There's no shortage of depth in this team. Everyone who's come on has been making an impact. There's Grunwald, holds it for Morgan. Back to Tennant. Just going to control the ball here. Hume City as we tick towards stoppage time. Don't think there'll be too many minutes of it. A successful weekend for Hume. Coming down to Tasmania, escaping the 42-degree heat. Really good tactical timing from them. And a couple of good wins as they ramp up their preparation for the NPL Victoria season. They might not be done yet. This is a lovely build-up. Play into the middle. It'll be dealt with by Walsh. Good flowing football again from Hume. They've had some lovely moves in this game. As Grunwald worked it in there to Conyett, who's assumed the Poriak role of midfield general.
Done it quite decently too. Still no real one-on-one type opportunities for the Zebras in this game. But despite conceding another 2 goals this half, I do think that they've improved a bit in their play, offered a little bit more of an attacking threat at times here.
Just been unable to cope with what's been thrown at them the other way, really.
Yeah.
Quality of the opposition against the defence.
Much improved performance in this half too from Satella.
Yeah, obviously a tough first 45 for him, but it's been pretty good in the second 45. It's James Ackley. He's getting a little bit carried away there, the young fella. Look at him bouncing about like he's in the ring.
Tell you what. Real friendly there from Ackley. Don't know what the hell he's trying to do, but a bit cheeky from the youngster.
He's trying to go. He's trying to go the strip sack. That's not worked, and then he started jumping around like a boxer. So loving Jimmy Ackley's work, but I don't know what any of it was about. Might
have to start getting a gif together of that one and start referring to him as the Wallaby, because it wasn't exactly threatening against the big imposing frame there. Steppier just quite comfortably telling him to go away.
Pipe down, son, I think he said. Just a slight height difference as this one ends 4-0 Hume City, a good victory, an entertaining end to a very enjoyable evening of football. 2 good evenings we've seen here. Hume have put on a real show for the crowds to come to see them, and 2 convincing wins. They'll be happy. A successful weekend for them, for the Zebras. I think they'll have learned a lot from that. They obviously won't be thrilled with the performance, but a long time to go before their season starts, and this is the first step on that journey.
Yeah, a couple of players in with a shout for man of the match too, I think, for Hume City, but that man Poriak, I don't think you can really go by him and his work in the centre of the park, because it was composed and relentless and just generally of quality from him in the centre of the park. Covered the grass well, distributed well, defended well. Can't say too much more praise than that about the man, but also saw really good games from Leviticus and the right back Tennant.
Yeah, I think
accomplished performance, Andrew.
I reckon I'd give Tennant the 2 behind the Paul for 3, and 1 purely for that ending there, James Ackley. Really just gave me a lift at the end when we were just waning a little bit. So that concludes the first week of friendlies of these Victorian sides. Next week, Bentley Greens coming down to take on South Hobart and Hobart Zebras, which should be very interesting as well. A big name team, Bentley. We look forward to that. But until next week, it's bye for now. It's been a pleasure bringing this one to you. Andrew Cooling and Hank Morgan calling for Bye on Stream. We'll be back shortly. It's bye for now. Busy. Surging into the box. It's Blumenthal. Make good contact with that one. It's training was though. They've put that round.
And well one back there from Tennant. Good coming together there from Hoogsley.
Great to see.
It's been the best aspect of football here today. A little tug there on Leviticus before he gets
long ball over the top. Can Deans of Bloomfield get him behind? He plays the early cross and it'll be easy pickings for the keeper. Plucks that one out of the air.
Isn't it? He's just a real quality player. I've enjoyed watching him.
He's running his own race. together.
Good physicality there from Satella.
Urella back. Kamara's got himself into all sorts of trouble here, though. Will they be made to pay? 3-on-1. Here's Attila just on the ground, drives into Kamara and gets a piece of it, but not enough to keep it out. And it's 3-0. Not a good moment.
Showing some real strength and solidity and just flicks inside there. Great power, and it just falls to the back post. Tucked away there by the substitute. What a sweet moment for Gideon.
All too easy, and how's them? It's getting ugly now. 4-0 the score in favour of Hume. Their dominance starting to be reflected. Tinsley gets taken down there by the Hunt.
Yeah, and have a look at.
Oh, just the one to the back post, and again it's easy pickings. That's Safia. They've just not asked enough questions from these powerhouse, and he's running straight at Statella here. One way, then the other. He drops the shoulder inside.
Oh, and you wouldn't want to lose your shin pad coming against him like Bloomfield's just. Robinson heaves the ball back into play. Direction Sklanage. Sanders from distance. Oh, what an attempt there. Ambitious from
through with the outside of the foot. It was with numbers back, although they don't deal with it.
That's a foul.
That's a free kick in a very promising area for Bosdegan.
Oh, and we might. Could Attila the Hun take it? Looks to be Grunwald. Curls it. Oh, and he's hit the post. Not a bad effort there from Grunwald, thinking that camera was. Walsh takes it. Walsh looks to curl on his right. It's a good delivery, but really well defended there from, I think, Bosdegan.
He's got past Bloomfield. He's on his bike and he's surging into the box. He's got two to pick out. Morgan's one of them who just peeled off a little and blocked.
Got a good experience out of that there, Bloomfield.
Yeah, he'll have learned plenty.
Oh, and we see Morgan get into a dangerous position. Will he go himself or pass? Passes, and what a save there from Shek Camera. Well done. He's got Attila the Hun centre. He's just gone offside a little. Falls it back for Trajewski, who takes an abhorrent touch. And the ball is just not dealt with. Trajewski gets another chance. Koulibaly.
I think there's a few tired bodies out there.
Pressure on there from the big beard. But it's just switched out again to Koulibaly. He's got Morgan centrally and Gideon Sweet on the other side. It falls to Morgan, who drives, but well blocked by Statella before Attila the Hun. Hun from distance. Hit it, son.
He's got to.
Oh, got to hit it. Hit it. Ah, disappointing there from the Hun. He had acres of space. Gotten himself into a beautiful position here. Unselfishly switches to Sweet, who looks on the left boot and just shovels it ugly over the top.
Pretty good in the second 45. It's James Ackley. He's getting a little bit carried away there, the young fella. Look at him bouncing about like he's in the